growing some of your own food is one of the best things that you can do for the environment. But I live in a city where I don't have access to dirt and a garden, and so it was a challenge to find a way of growing some of my own food in the conditions that I have here locally. And so it was really just a matter of experimentation once I thought about hydroponics and how they could possibly be made to fit the conditions of a window. So hydroponics is a different way of growing, and the plant's roots actually grow differently. So in soil, they have to grow very large root systems to go find new water and nutrients in the soil. Whereas in hydroponics, you're essentially dissolving all of the food that the plant needs into some liquid and then directing that liquid directly to the plant's roots. This is a typical kind of air pump that you get at an aquarium store for your fish tank. And it is feeding a bubble into the bottom of this tube that's submerged down in the water. And so each bubble, as it rises up to the top, is carrying a little column of this nutrient-rich water on top of it, and then squirting out at the top, and then dripping down through each one of the bottles and through each one of the plants. More than 13,000 people around the world have downloaded the instructions. They've built systems in Hong Kong, in Finland. There was a whole team there that really wanted to grow vegetables during the middle of the dark days of the winter. People in every hemisphere at this point have done it. In general, a lot of kind of leafy kinds of vegetables and greens, when they come to us in the stores, they've usually been trucked for 3 or 4 days, or it's been 3 or 4 days since they were actually harvested. And throughout the course of that process, they're essentially dying. And so the leafy greens that we end up getting are usually have lost a lot of their nutritive value at that point. When I take a bite off of this kale right now, I'm getting all of the nutrients that are there in its in this living leaf.
With the amount of space available for garden shrinking, wall garden units are becoming much more popular in the home garden, and like the one sitting here behind us, they're becoming much easier to install. The first decision you need to make is what wall you're going to use for your wall garden. Now, you obviously need sunlight, and when setting up your wall garden you prefer morning sunlight as opposed to the harsh afternoon light. Now, the idea of installing a wall garden has traditionally seemed quite a difficult one, but these days there's modular systems that make it much easier for the DIY project at home. Installing the wall garden units is attaching the braces to whatever surface you're using. Now, this setup is probably the most difficult you'll come across. It's a shipping container, so it's got a slightly undulated surface, and it's also very hard metal, so we'll be using metal screws to attach these, but the same theory applies across the board. The first step is attaching your first panel, making sure it's absolutely level and perpendicular, so make sure you use the spirit level. Spacing between the boxes, from one box to the next, 25 centimeters is absolutely perfect, leaving a little gap for the foliage to grow up and then grow over. The beauty of the modular system is its simplicity. The back of each unit has 2 points that anchor onto the screws that you affix to your panels. Remember that when choosing your plants, choose the varieties that don't need a lot of root depth, so things like leafy greens and herbs will be absolutely perfect. And while it does look a little bit unimpressive at first, give it 1 or 2 months and that foliage will really start to grow out and drape over and cover those boxes and create a really impressive wall garden.
Hi, this is Andrew here at Pacific Northwest Garden Supply Vendor Days in Maple Ridge 2014. I'm here to introduce you to our brand of dry rack. It's called the Flower Tower. It comes in this really nice, convenient pouch, real easy after use for storage, carry it around from spot to spot, whatever you'd like to do with it. So this is our U-shaped zipper opening model. One of the things that kind of sets us apart is we put the center support strap in. The reason that's there is because some of the dry racks on the market, if you don't have the center support, it's going to taco in. You're going to get an uneven dry, wet on the inside, dry on the outside. Not what you're looking for. We use silky mesh. This isn't going to catch your flowers. Really nice, smooth, easy to work with. We keep it enclosed because you don't know exactly what drying environment you might be using. Some people dry in outbuildings. Some people have pets, things of that nature. So what's going to happen with this is all your flowers are going to be protected from any kind of particulate matter. We also have a hanging strap on the bottom. What this is for is so that when you've been drying for a while, you can always flip it. Get an even dry. Nothing's going to fall out of this. You're not going to get any kind of hair in this, but you can flip it however you like. You can roll it around, do whatever you'd like to make sure you get an even dry. So this is the Flower Tower U-shaped zipper opening rack. It comes in 3 different sizes, either 6 racks or 8 racks. Thank you very much.